Hello, I hope that you can hear me. I have my earbuds in, so hopefully this will come off audibly. Woke up this morning with a lot of messages, and I came out here to kind of hike around the lake and clear away some of the other chatter that was going on in the energy I was picking up. And I have a bunch of messages, but there's one really clear one that I feel will be helpful for many at this time. It is linked to the astrology, but I'm going to break it down in more layman's terms. So there's a lot of extreme energy on the planet right now. The sun, as I'm walking, has a beautiful rainbow aura around it. And it has been flaring, so we have a lot of solar activity, solar weather hitting us at this time, and that bumps up the frequency as well. We still are coming off of a full moon energy in Cancer, but what I wanted to talk about in more detail is two things that I'm witnessing and seeing going on right now is, well, let's start with the thoughts. Mercury. So Mercury is still in retrograde, and Mercury just crossed through the heart of the sun during the full moon. Mercury went Cazimi. So our thoughts reconnected to what's in our heart, to us, to our hearts. And we are getting a good dose of what thoughts and stories we had attached to and connected to in the past, and what emotions we attach to the thoughts. And Mercury can be the trickster energy, meaning our thoughts can trick us. Our thoughts can tell us stories that are not true, but they are they seem true because they're linked to our past pain, our past traumas. And the ego protects us by not showing or not allowing us to see the full truth. So there's one. We're reconnecting with our thoughts and bringing it back to the heart, and the heart of the matters, the heart, things that are in our heart, near and dear to our heart. And we're also getting a good review as to how we had thought about ourselves and others in the past, with and how we find that our minds had tricked us in certain instances, meaning we believed the trickster Mercury energy, the trickster thoughts linked to our wounds and our traumas in the past. As well as we also have Mars in retrograde still, extreme energy, especially when Mars is not fully moving. We're really feeling not only the push and pull of these energies, but we're physically experiencing them. And I'm going to do a video later on today on the symptoms, the physical and emotional, mental symptoms that you could be experiencing from the Mars retrograde energy, from all of the energy. So, but back to Mars retrograde, another review, rethink, all the re's, right? So not only are we getting a good dose of clarity for ourselves as far as what thoughts and what stories we attached emotion to, and then continue to build a story from there, we also are getting a good understanding as to how we acted, Mars, the actions we took based off of the belief of the stories, the trickster energy, the stories and the trickster thoughts that Mercury had been giving us a good dose of. So this is a part of the awakening process as well, to get an understanding as to how we do create our situations and our realities based off of our thoughts and our feelings. But back to Mars. So there's that energy where people are getting a good understanding as to how they acted, how they treated themselves, how they treated others, how they behaved, while believing the trickster energies of Mercury the stories, and so forth and so on. Now add Venus into the mix, who is squaring the lunar nodes. So we've got half in energy, half in the past, old stories, half in the past, old connections. Venus is our relationships. And so it's a push and pull again. And then another half in the future, or the future self, that has new clarity on how our minds had tricked us, how we had acted and behaved based off of stories, narratives, thoughts that we had attached emotion to, and went with it. So this is intense energy for a lot of people that are coming to a lot of self-realization, self-actualization, and understanding how their ego really attached to certain stories, and as well as Chiron. Chiron's in the mix as well. So this moon had a major, lots of different energies. Chiron, our wounds have been completely highlighted again, but this time with more clarity as to, getting a good understanding and clarity on how certain triggers will have us spiral down or attach to a narrative or a story as to being a victim or savior, which is really just a victim trying to run from their pain. How we act, how we think, the stories we attach to. So this is the energy we're in right now, as well as energetically. We are, as your mind and beliefs are changing. Jupiter's in the mix as well. Minds and thoughts and stories are changing. We're coming to terms and taking accountability for our past actions and ways of being that were linked to the old narrative. And a lot of people are still half in and half out because it's very confusing. And it's okay if that's where you're at. This is why I'm doing this video, to kind of give clarity to what's going on, because it can be rather restless energy with Mars retrograde. It can be rather confusing, but also emotional, extremely, extremely emotional. And a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of not understanding, and wanting to still point blame outside of ourselves so that we don't have to feel full responsible for ourselves, which really that's what the universe is trying to do. Allow us back into our own sovereignty, taking responsibility and accountability for ourselves, our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, and recognizing that, these certain triggers and these certain things opened up patterns within me that were based off of my past traumas and pains, and this is how I had been acting. Seeing the duality within yourself, and we all have this, we all go through this. When you have that clarity, it's really difficult and challenging to we also have, with retrograde, it's time to slow down and really process all of this reviewing that we're going through before wanting to take full-on action. Again, Mars retrograde is that restless, like, I want to do something to change this, but wait until it really feels right for you, because there's more that keeps coming. And if it's not coming up through the minds and the clarity, the universe is bringing in certain events, certain people, certain circumstances to trigger this realization within, and it may have you spiral down pretty far first before you get to this clarity. But that is why this is all happening. We are also, as far as energy, I was talking about energy then, with the symptoms. One of the main symptoms I want to point out, because this can be probably one of the most upsetting one for people, is that as you start to pull away from the old thoughts, the old beliefs, the old you, and start to really embody the true you and the truth, that's also energetically removing yourself from an old energetic grid. There's many that surround the planet. That's how we are alive, and we have this life force energy running through us. So we start to move off of one and onto a new one. And as we do that, and it takes some time, but as we do that, you may find yourself suddenly not recognizing anything, not recognizing where you are or who other people are. And it's very confusing. It's like, wait, am I in the twilight zone kind of thing? This is very temporary. I want to point out for anybody experiencing the metaphysical experiences of this shift. Not everybody is. So again, you're not going crazy. This is part of the process metaphysically when we change from one form of identity or ego identity to more of a wholeness. We're shifting our energy, what energy we attach to energetically. If that I hope I put the words right there. I mean, you can figure it out for yourself, use what words you want to. It's a change, it's a shift. And so I wanted to just put this out there really quickly. I will be back on with another video, but check out the last few videos I did. The one about our thoughts not fully being ours. That was probably a week or two ago. And also, yeah, I did a couple energy updates as well as then the full moon video I just did on the full moon. So I think that's all I have for now, but there's more. I have a lot more to share with everybody. So once I get home and kind of get organized and get inspired again to do another video, I will be back. Much love to all of you. Bye.